Hello, friends. Hello, people in the TV land, in the interwebs. It's Laura Victoria Ward here, and I am going to offer you an exercise class, a more intense level exercise class than the somatic mat, because I'm here by myself, and that's what I need. So I'm going to start with breathing. Inhale, stretch out and up. And exhale, feeling the space around you, reaching out into the space. So you're getting bigger, stretching away from center. And then on the exhale, releasing, melting, letting go. Inhale, open, fill up your heart, open your lungs. Exhale, reach out into the space. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, stretch it out and up. Interlace your hands up over your head, a little side stretching. And then we're going to spiral, twisting, and I'm going to actually pivot in my feet as well. So I'm not staying stable in my feet. I am mobilizing my feet. Twisting. So there's a lot of different ways I can twist here. And each of them is going to affect my body a little bit differently. So here I'm doing this more pivoty one. I'm going to change it to being more stable in my lower legs. Looking around behind me every time. Then I'm going to change it again. I'm going to flex, shift my weight, looking all the way around. This version feels a lot more sort of full body fluid to me. I'm getting that weight shift, but if I come in here and go straight without moving that weight shift, then I get more spinal twist. Good. Taking it down, we're going to take it into a inhale, lift, open up, exhale, bending your knees, taking it down, rounding your spine, rolling it back up, vertebra by vertebra, coming all the way up. Inhale, open, stick out your butt, stick out your chest, drop down, surrender, release, soften, let go, and roll it back up. Opening up and stick out your butt, stick out your chest, take it down. So you're arching your spine and then release and curl, rolling it up, feeling your feet on the floor, radiate away from center. So I'm not here in the vertical, I'm taking it back a little, and I'm sticking out my butt, sticking out my chest, all the way down, rolling it up. One more. Arch, reach out, take it down. Walk your hands forward. So you're in kind of a squarish rectangular shape between your feet and your hands, wide, knees are bent, circling around. Wrist, ankle, ankle, wrist. Also warming up your shoulders and your hips. Knees can be bent. And then change direction other way. Breathing through it. And then just side to side. Shift from one side, shift to the other. And then forward and backward. You can leave your knees bent, so we're not going for the biggest hamstring stretch yet, but just shifting your weight. And then walk your feet together. Take it into a downward dog. Bend one knee and then the other. Looking under your armpit of the straight leg. Letting your hips really move. And then lifting your hips high, scooping your belly in, rounding your spine, rolling it forward, coming into a strong plank. Pushing through your heels, pushing into the hands. Let's just take this forward and backward. And then drop your head, round your spine, roll your tail up to the ceiling, lower your heels. Again, heels lift high, scoop your belly, roll it forward, coming into that strong plank. This time we're going to open the feet a little wider, circles with your pelvis, down towards the floor and then up. Change direction. Trying to breathe in through your nose. Exhale can come through the mouth or the nose. Bring it back, let's shift it into the side plank. Just open up, pushing the floor away with the bottom hand. Maybe spiral the top hand. As we spiral, getting into the fascia, getting into the rotator cuff, Switching it to the other side, same thing. Spiral. Bringing it back in, drop your head, round your spine, roll it up to the ceiling. One more time, coming forward. This time we're going to keep coming through. Knees can drop or not. Open and look up. Take your tail back, round your spine, soften down into the mat. Shift around from side to side. Release the armor, let go. Soften your body. From here, we're going to take the elbows out to the side, chest toward the floor, diving through, lifting up, round the spine. Take it back into your child's pose. Again, wiggle, soften, surrender, and then elbows out, chest to the floor, butt to the ceiling. Press it up, look up, reach your tail back, soften and melt. Soften the tissue, wiggle. So soften your inner body. Let the muscles be very easy, juicy inner body, and then elbows out to the side, chest to the floor, dive it up and through, and take your tail back again. From this position, you're just going to reach one hand up and then drop it back down. Reach out to the other hand, drop it back down. Trying to leave your head on the floor, just opening up in that rotator cuff. Then you can take your hand up, bring it down and your head up. See how much further you can get, hand and head. Bring it down. There's a cat right behind my computer getting ready to, I was just going to lay down. You can just see the whole thing going toward the floor any minute. So let me fix that. If you hear some purring, it's him. All right, we're going to change it. Let's just come down to a forearm plank, pushing forward and backward. Coming into the floor, if that feels okay. Then you can take your tail up, straighten your arms, lower down, take it all the way forward. Back to your forearm plank, tail up, whoa, push into your hands, lower down. Ideally, you can do that with both hands at the same time. Right now, I can't, so I'm going 1-2 on that. If I hadn't been doing the forward backward, I would be able to do that. Bend one knee, then the other. Walk it in. Bending your knees, taking your tail down toward the floor. Shift a little bit from side to side. So in a squat, if you need to be on the floor with your hands, go for it. If not, just shifting from one leg to the other. You can also reach that knee away from you. So you're getting some side mobility in the hips, reaching out through your foot. Then flexing and pointing. We can take this heel down to the floor. My elbow is inside of my knee so I can push back. And I can flex and point through that foot. Feeling into the back of my leg, feeling into the front of my leg. So as I'm flexing, I'm like extending out through the back of my leg. As I'm pointing, but I'm also engaging my tibialis anterior. So this flex is working the front of my foot. If you look at ballet dancers or people that do a lot of tendus, they will have very built up tibialis anterior. Switch it to the other side. Flexing and pointing. And that's what you're working as you're doing that flexing and pointing. That's one thing you're working. You're also working your calf. Getting some mobility in the ankle, maybe releasing this hamstring, maybe working your adductor, releasing it, working it open, not working it. Good, bringing it in. Let's take it into a big lunge. In the lunge, we're going to move forward and backward. Think of reaching your head forward and your heel back. trying to straighten that back leg. So you're traveling along this, not quite the horizon, slightly inclined horizon line. You can step the back leg in, flex the front foot, and take it back down and move forward and backward. So we're just mobilizing this. Step it in, flex, lower through your foot, take it back. Step it in, flex, lower, take it back. And let's put the hands down, switch it out, other side. Starting with forward, backward. Head reaching forward, heel reaching back. Try not to put too much weight on your hands. They're there to help you balance, but you're not totally ginched down into it, getting the legs to do some work. Breathing into it. Step it in, take it back. Flex your front foot, take it down. And again, forward, backward. Step it in, flex, and take it down. Good, and release, take it back. Back to your dog. Let's try those elbow touches. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Last one. And come down. Taking the big arm circle with one side. Let's do 3 backstrokes. And switch to the other side, 3 times backstroke. Letting yourself really open up, like you're swimming through the space, right? We're mobilizing the joint, rotator cuff, getting some movement, and so is our spine. We're going to change direction, circling forward. Trying to open up to the ceiling, opening up to the sky. Opening. Nice gradated rotation through your rotator cuff. So your humerus is just gradually moving around, stimulating the production of synovial fluid in that joint. Ball and socket joint. Let's take that a little deeper. Circles with your elbows. Trying to touch together in the front and open as wide as possible in the back and change direction. So I'm kind of balancing strength exercises with mobility exercises and throwing in a little bit of flexibility. And what's the difference? Obviously, we know what strengthening is. Mobilizing is getting movement in the joint. It doesn't have to be your hugest range of motion, but it could be moving to a bigger range of motion. And then stretching is working with those more extended ranges of motion. So different parts of our body, like my hamstrings are super open. My hips are kind of tight, so I have to work those balances. So we're going to come up into not quite a tabletop. Hands are further forward, circling hips. This is some happy hip and lower back release for my body. And change direction. Anti-hip replacement exercise. Getting that tissue in the legs, in the butt to mobilize in relationship to that joint. We're going to do some wrist stuff here. Bending your elbows to the floor, come up onto your tippy fingers and lower your heels of your hands. Bend the elbows up, press it up and down. If this feels good, take your weight further forward so that you're really bearing weight on your hands. There's not a magic number of these. Do as many as feels good to you in your body, where you're starting to challenge yourself, but you're not totally killing it. We're not going for a burn here. And then we're going to go over the back of the hands, making monkey fists. Back of the hands out. We can arch and then curl and push. Arch, make the fist look up, curl and push. Arch. Curl and push, arch, curl and push. Let's go for some spine, head, neck stuff. Circling Start with your head. And if you can, add the tail. So it's a whole big spinal movement. If that's too confusing, just stick with the head. And then change direction. Start with the head. And then add the tail. Breathing. Mobilizing the whole torso, head to tail. Good. And then coming in, we're going to go over the back of the hands this way. So fingertips are pointed towards your knees. And we're going to curl. How does this work? Let's arch. Curl your toes under. Fingers in like a little monkey. And then push, curl, and around. Toes curl under. Arch. Reach back through your heels. Open your sternum. Push, curl, hollow. Monkey hands, arch and open, push and curl. And that's enough of those for me. I'm going to come up onto my fingertips, just taking my body over my fingertips, seeing if I can pick up my knees or not. Doesn't have to be the most intense thing in the world, just something where you're getting that strength. It might just be that you just take your weight forward. It might be that you go like into a full plank and hang out there, really listening into your own body. And if it feels like too much, back off. So we want to start building intelligence within our system, intelligence within the feedback loop of our nervous system, our fascia, our tissues, our organs, all the stuff where we're like, oh, we're listening in. Maybe that's too much. Maybe that's not enough. And if you're an athlete, a dancer, a climber, you're going to get injured sometimes. If we really use our body, it's going to happen. But the more we come into relationship with our tissues, with hydrating our tissues, hydrating our joints, mobilizing our body, the faster we're going to heal, the quicker we can get back to what we want to do. So we'll do this again, forearm plank. You're going to cross under, step forward, open it up, bring it in, take it down. Cross it under, open, in, and down. Bottom foot crosses, open, bring it in. Cross. Open, in, cross, open, in, cross, open, in, cross, open, in, cross, open, in. Let's change it. Cross, take it up. Going 1, 2, oh, look at my pants. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, push the floor away, 9, 10, walk it back, other side. Take it out to your side plank, up and down for 10, 1, 2, 3, woo, 4, falling, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, bringing it in, yeah. Over here is a very slippery floor, so harder to balance on that. If you want to make your workouts more challenging, don't do it with a mat. Do it on a hardwood floor. It'll also get into your fascia more, like when you're rolling across it, there's more capacity for release. Let's flip it over. Coming onto our backs. Let's lower this down here. So we're going to do big circles. I'm going to keep my back on the floor for the first few, and then I'm going to peel it up afterwards. So circling with the legs. I have to say this is one of my favorite exercises. I feel like it does so much. And I need that expansive mobility. So I'm circling that femur head, again, in the ball and socket joint. I can also do this with my hands behind my head. Good, we're going to start to go up, taking it up. You can lower, control the roll down, shoot up to the ceiling. Then you can start to lower the legs as you come down. If you want to make it easier, just shoot your legs behind you. But if you want to make it a little bit more work in your arms, press up, then lower, open it out, roll it down, pressing it up. Lower the legs, Open it out. Roll it down. The next one, I'm going to take it up. Then I'm going to bring my legs down. And I'm going to come into this, which is a huge stretch for my lower back. Also for my neck and shoulders. So if this doesn't feel good, don't do it. The plow. We're in the plow. Slowly, 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 slowly lower down. Shake it out. Let your body release. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. So when we do hard things, we tend to like tense up our body to do it. Maybe we're holding our breath. Come out of that with a wiggle, something where you release that extra tension that you're holding. Otherwise, we just keep armoring the body. And like ultimately, it might look like we're turning into Thor, but we need to have fluidity inside of that. Like we want our heart to have movement. We want our lungs to have movement, right? And if we're armoring, anchoring, we're kind of depleting the capacity for movement in our body. So we can do that. We can do all that strength stuff. It's great. We need it. But we also want to soften and mobilize. So let's just do that for a minute. We can do it here on all fours. Finding freedom through your torso, through your spine. Inviting your nervous system to kind of ripple and unwind. So listening in. And moving in ways that feel good to you. Free up your idea of what your body should look like and really tune into what feels good in your body. And I don't mean feels good in like a eating Doritos way of feeling good in the moment, but like what feels like long-term, sustainable, delicious. Finding ways to free up the patterns of being you so there's more space. You're not like all constipated and constricted, but you have some space, spaciousness inside in relationship to the spaciousness outside, where it's not like, oh, it's all free out there and hit the body and we're like this tension pattern. We want to have that life energy, life support, freedom in the tissues. They can be very strong and also very fluid at the same time, but we need to not be holding that tension. So finding ways to release, like are you clenching your jaw? Is your head free up there on top of your spine? We can think of these three big bony structures, our pelvis, our rib cage, and our head, and then find how is the relationship between them, right? When I'm in a position, is there some extra tension somewhere? Or can I start to release? I'm really actually thinking of like climbers and pole dancers. Like we get into weird positions and we're in these relationships between these big bony structures, which are our heaviest parts of our body, our pelvis, ribcage, lungs, and head. And if they're not in a harmonious, synchronous alignment, a symbiotic relationship, then it's going to cause a lot more tension. We're going to have to work a lot harder. So we want to work towards maximal efficiency, right? We want to be strong. We want to be free. We want to have mobility, not where we're just packing it in, becoming like this tight little crustacean, but where there's this, we pack it in, we open it out. We pack it in, we open it out. There's this natural growing and shrinking of the work. So let's take it back onto our backs. I'm going to use a block for this and putting the block underneath my foot. So this is really hamstring and back body, pressing up. I'm going to start squaring off my hips, and I can do it by just feeling them. Like, am I leaning one way? Am I the other? If I put my hands so I can get the information, am I square? One leg's higher, that's fine. I'm going to pulse up here, trying to keep my knees pointing straight forward. Pulsing, pushing the floor away. If I was just starting with this, I would probably do some ups and downs here. But since we've been going for a while, I'm starting with pulses. If you feel like you're crampy at all, bring it down. Relax, shake it out for a second, let it release, and then go back into it. And then let's take one release down. Just roll your body weight from side to side across your back. So thinking of the water in your body, massaging over to one side and then over to the other side. Mashing out, releasing your fascia, hydrating the tissue in that big bandy fascia in the back of the body, and also releasing in your hips. Pressing it back up. You can take your hands down, out, wherever it feels good to you. One leg up to the ceiling. Let's just start with a foot circle. Mobilizing your foot. Pelvis stays high. Change direction, circle it the other way. Long, straight leg. Then we're going to go with a leg circle. Maybe beach ball size circles. Trying to keep your knees straight. Trying to keep your toe pointed so the energy through your leg is shooting all the way out. Pelvis high. Flex and change direction. Reach through your heel. Point your toes, poke a hole through the ceiling, straight up. Going for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Flex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fold it in. Take it down. Draw both knees into you. Let's circle both legs. Just feel the difference. The foot on the block was the one doing most of the work. Well, depending on your body. If you're really tight, the one on top might have been doing some hard work too. Circle the other way, shake it out, let it release, and then switch the block to the other side. So block is under the other foot, hands down by your sides, pulsing up, easy pulses. Every once in a while when you feel like, okay, that's enough, come down for a second and take it back up. Squaring off your hips, feeling long through both sides of your body, so you're not ginching up in your organs anywhere. Spacious. Take it down. Pressing it back up. I don't remember if we did the roll. Just do a roll for a second. Hydrating that tissue. We're not going for a huge stretch. We're just going for a little release. Hydrating through movement. It's like if you squeeze out a sponge and then you let it go, it's in the water, it's going to fill back up with water. So we want that kind of squeezing out of the tissue and filling back up. And pressing it back up, taking the other leg up to the ceiling, outward circles with your foot. Getting those toes to spread and move, change direction. And then outward circles with the leg, pointed toes, long straight leg. Energize out. Beach ball-ish, maybe physio ball size circles. And flex, go the other way. Pointing your toes, poke a hole through the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Flex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fold it in. Take it down. Push your block out of the way. This time for our release, we're just going to take a quick or a long happy baby. Grabbing on, inside, outside, knees, whatever you need to grab onto. Wiggle, soften, melt, breathe. Listen to your own body. As if you were a happy baby. Now we're going to take one leg in and one leg out. Stretching through that top leg, lengthening through that bottom leg. Let's go around the outside to change. So circling out to change. Bring it in, the other leg. Reach, open. Circle it out, come back to the first side, maybe flex and head down on the floor, flexing through both feet. And circle it out, other side, same thing. Picture the muscle fibers opening up. Picture the fascia lengthening out. Open it out to the side. Give it a little shake. We're going to come back to that, but first we're going to do some twists, side to side, big spiral. Pushing the floor away. Trying to keep your shoulders and arms connected to the floor, just radiating out to the sides. This is usually where I get some adjustment in my spine. It just had one little pop. Then bring it in, feet on the floor, pick up your butt, shake it, shake it, shake it, let your spine realign. And coming back, we're going to go back for that stretch for the hamstring, but slightly different this time. I'm going to flex my knee and ankle. This bottom leg can be straight or bent. If you're tighter, bend it. If you're looser, straighten it out. Flexing the knee in, inhale, exhale, extend, reach it out. Inhale, flex it in. Exhale, extend and point, as if you're breathing through the leg. Inhale in. Exhale, reach it out. Inhale, flex. Exhale, extend and point. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You may do this up here. It may be happening like that. You could also use a strap, but try to get to a place where you're extended all the way and pointed. So deep flexion and then extension. The next version, we're going to cross over and open wide. Exhale, cross. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. Inhale, open. Bring it in. Take your knee, cross it over, turn your head to the other side. You can use your hands to actually open more. Like a little teeny bit deeper. Breathe. And come back in. Both feet on the floor. Shake it out. Same thing on the other side. Bottom knee bent or straight. Use a strap if you need it. But really make sure wherever you get to, you're straightening all the way. So we're going from this flexion into this extension. Flex it in. Reach it out. Flex it in. Inhale. Exhale, reach and open. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So I'm actually opening it to the side. I can get much further if I take my knee towards my shoulder. I'm also turning this leg out. So if it's turned in, it's not going to open up in the same way as if it's turned out. Out to the side. Lots of room. Flexing it in. Last one. And then we're going to cross over and open it out. So all this tissue in the back of your hamstring is getting mobilizing front. So your pelvis isn't moving side to side. You're kind of moving your femur head in the hip socket as you cross over. Maybe it lifts a little bit, but mostly you're fairly connected to the floor and open out. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, open, 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 and release. Fold it in, cross it over. Use your hands, like I can use that hand in there, just in front of my ribs, taking me a little deeper every time. So it's like right in here. I'm just pulling in different areas. Breathing into it. And then come back into center. Pick up your butt, shake it out. Just an inch or two off the floor. Let your spine realign itself. Shake, shake, shake. Jiggle. Let it all go. Whatever you're holding on to. Release. And we're going to do something for calves and ankles. So This is for the fascia. And it's like you're going to make a cuff with your hand, a cuff close to your ankle, and then you're going to pull away. So I'm going to go close to my ankle. I'm going to pull. I can already feel the fascia pulling. If it feels kind of knifey inside, that is the fascia. And then I'm going to circle my ankle, creating space in that joint by just opening up that fascia a little bit. And then you can shake it out, do it again, and change direction with a circle. Recuff. If you have a lot of moisturizer on and your hands are slidey, you're not going to get into your fascia as much. So if it feels kind of sticky and pulley, that's going to be more, you'll get more shift, change, and release. Let it go. From that, we're just going to hit back of the calves. Feeling into that. If some part is more painful than another, get in there with your fingers. Give it some movement. Give it some mobility. And then switch it to the other side. Same thing. Cuff. You're grabbing on and you're pulling and then circling. Recuff, change direction. And then release, tap it, bang it out. If you feel tightness in there, start to develop a relationship so you can feel where is stuff tight, what's happening inside, right? We can know so much about our bodies if we listen in, if we touch in, feeling where the tight spots are inside. Shake it all out. Let's roll back and forth, rounding your spine. You're going to take it into that plow and then forward. So if it feels okay, you're going to plow, come forward, maybe to your hands. You can take this up higher. If you felt like it, you could jump that up. If you do not have any comfort with like handstands, headstands, don't jump it up. Good. And then release, opening your feet wide. Turning your feet in. Just bend and stretch a little bit. This is going to shift in your peroneals. A lot of time we spend more time here, so just returning the tissue to a different dimension. Bending and straightening. And then come in, roll it up. And we're going to just finish it off with some balance stuff. So the balance stuff is going to be, I'm actually not going to use my mat for this. I prefer the floor. We're going to do coming over to the side, stretch it out, bring it in. Over to the side, woo! Stretch it out, bring it in. You have your hands here, here, slightly in front of you. Or hardest is going to be just relaxed down to your side. So listen to what feels good to you. We're going to add big side stretch, reach it out, flex, point, fold it in. Other side, up, out, flex, point, fold it in. Side stretch, up, out, flex, point. We're adding to it. Take it to the back. Reach it behind you. Bring it in. Big side stretch. Woo! Up, flex, point in, take it into the back space. Bring it in. Side stretch. We're going to add arms to this. Up, out, flex, point, bring it in. Take it behind you. Open the arms out. Lift the leg in the back. Bring it in. Big side stretch. Up, out, flex, point in. Take it to the back. It's going to be easier to balance. Get your leg up here. In. Open it out. Up, out, flex, point, bring it in. Take it to the back. If you want to make it harder, woo, which I'm having a hard time doing, you can take your arms forward as your leg goes back. Open them to the side. Bring it in. Dancing all over the place here. Up, forward, flex, point, bring it in, take the leg back, arms go forward, open to the side, bring it in, side, forward, flex, point, bring it in, take the leg back, take the arms forward, bring it back. Woo! Last one, up, forward, flex, point, bring it in, take it back, arms forward, lift, open it up, little bounce, let everything release, shake it out, soften, circles with your knees, go the other way. Let that ripple through your whole body. If you feel like you're holding somewhere, let it go. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Big inhale. Open it up, exhale, stick out your butt, arch all the way down. Straighten your knees, bend your knees, straighten your knees, bend your knees. Straighten, bend, and roll it up. Inhale, open. Exhale, bend your knees, take it down. Straighten, bend, straighten, bend. Straighten, stay down, shift from side to side. Free up your spine, mobilize. Head to tail, tail to head. Come into center, bend your knees all the way up. Just last thing, circles, spacious chest and lungs, circling the shoulders. Spacious heart. Change direction, up and over. Good. And that is it. Ending the stream. Please like and subscribe, and feel free to reach out to me or make a comment. Cheers.